Hello, it's been a while, but I am back for a little bit and then probably gone for a very long time. Um, I guess these days it's been very busy, very crazy. A lot of new developments in my life. I've taken on learning how to drive, which is exciting because I've been talking about it for years, and I think I finally plucked up the courage to do it. I'm like, this year I did skydiving, which is one of the things on my bucket list. So why not? If I can drop from the sky and not be afraid of it, um, driving on the road shouldn't be too bad. But it's its own challenge, of course, because driving is a little bit more technical. Um, Another person isn't necessarily driving for you, even though the instructor is there in the car with you and can, put his foot on the brake when things go a little haywire. Granted, it hasn't happened too often, which is always a good sign. Um, but it's just like, there's many things happening on the road, and keeping my eye out for it is a little bit of a to do, right? So, with that being said, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. I just hope um, part of me will think that I might not pass the driving test the first time around. Part of me is like, I hope to pass it, because if I had to purchase another set of package of driving classes, sure, I need to do what I need to do, but it's so expensive. Driving courses is not cheap, especially here in New York City. Um, and then driving around the neighborhoods is so scary because even in local streets, residential area, people are always in a rush. Like, they have no patience. And, you give them just a tiny inch and they will find a way to pass you and speed past you and all that, or honk at you. I'm like, clearly there is a sign in the back of the car saying that I'm a student learning to drive, but there's no grace. There's no grace or mercy on that one. But my instructor did say that it's a little bit easier if you drive outside the city, because people are there's less of all those different elements like bikers, pedestrians, jaywalking, or just running out of the middle of nowhere. Congestion, double parking, lots of double parking in this neighborhood, which is crazy because I would think that the cops would be nearby and ready to give a ticket. Thinking like the city could make its revenue just by being in the neighborhood I'm in and just issuing everybody a ticket, double parking or parking where the pedestrian walk is. Um, but I have various theories about why that doesn't happen, so I will leave it just at that. But the reason why I wanted to do this video, besides providing an update on what's going on in my life, work is work. Things happening. Things are always happening. I think there's always, it's a new day, it's a new challenge always. So totally get it. So there's that, right? The next part of it is, I'm just uh, looking around, and I saw this, I guess, thumbnail, as it's what's called, right? By the way, I don't really know how to change or update my thumbnail. I just upload and hope to God it looks okay. I don't have a ridiculous expression on. But I saw this thumbnail about this particular celebrity living, a makeup free life, and what that has taught her. And it kind of speaks to the type of culture that we have, where it's like about presentation, external presentability, but more to it is trying to be that sexy, good looking bombshell. Everybody's trying to be good looking. Some, granted, are very good looking even without makeup, but the societal pressures of falling in line and having to cake on something in order for you to leave the house is certainly uh, you know, you can witness it on a day-to-day basis. And I've been makeup free for quite a few years, and even before I got into makeup, it took a while before I got into it. I think I may have experimented from time to time, from elementary school all the way, and then there were times like for my prom and back in junior high, prom in high school, up until like maybe college. There were some days I would go outside, downtown party, or for Halloween. But usually only for big events would I do something crazy, right? But these days I can't. Well, for one thing is that I have really y'all who watch this, many of my videos that have followed me know that I have really bad eczema, and a lot of those makeup have loads of chemicals in it, which is so bad for your body and your skin, and obviously bad for my skin because it's super reactive to that stuff. So I can't even put it on. Yeah, it's a naked face outside every day. But you know what? I think it's, looking back and seeing how our ancestors, and I do mean it by like when we were nomads, we were, back in the caveman era, we didn't really have that stuff, and we were fine. You know, there isn't a real need for it, and I think people are too often aspiring to these types of physical, or physical standards, that you forget to like give yourself a little bit of grace and to love yourself for who you are, the things that you have, things that you can be grateful for. Like I still somewhat kind of have my health, even though I have all these like skin issues. I am thankful for the type of community I have around me. I'm very thankful for the people that are there for me, whether it's my family or friends or my wonderful colleagues. I'm very thankful for that. And if I guess I wouldn't be where I am without them. And that doesn't necessarily come from putting on makeup. It comes from knowing who you are, knowing what you can offer, and being willing to offer. And sometimes I think the greatest gift is giving, but it's not necessarily just giving and giving. Finding people that are worthwhile to give a part of yourself to. So because that they're wonderful people. Yeah, I think a good part of it is probably because you love them too. And they love that it's a mutual thing. Like for sure it's a mutual thing. It's definitely a give and take relationship in that sense, where you lean on each other. I think in those cases, it's thankful that you have a worthy person you can give to, and they certainly reciprocate. It certainly, but going back to the makeup, it's just so detrimental to the skin, but people still do it just for looking a certain way. Granted, some people put it on because it makes them feel a certain way, sure, but can you not train yourself to feel a certain way, to feel confident, to feel like you're well worthy of love without caking all that stuff on? I feel like sometimes when I see people who are absolutely beautiful inside and out, they just glow. And there's really, like, I think like even the person with the most gorgeous makeup on can't compare to this person who's just so glowing, so happy, so full of love. and it you know, it shows through, and there's no way to hide it, right? So I guess it comes down to the end of the day, like, why are you putting on makeup? Is there a part of you that you're trying to change or hide or conceal that you're unhappy with? I mean, it's always good to dig into those issues. Sure, you can continue to put it on. I would say see if you can find more like healthy and non-chemically alternatives that, you know, won't poison your body or your skin, because, you know, your skin is your largest organ in your body. It's also the outer organ in your body. It takes a bit to recover, and remember, everything that you put on skin also gets absorbed into the body. So you gotta treat yourself to good natural stuff. But I would still, you know, even if you still continue to do it, you know the reason, maybe you do it for other reasons, you know, it has nothing to do with yourself, that's fine. But if you are trying to do for, you know, for psychological reasons, for to compensate for certain things that you feel you yourself lack, then I would just question that, like, question that premise and work through it, you know, instead of caking another layer on and for another day. See if you can let go of it for a little bit and live with it. And I could certainly tell you, once you have lived without it for a bit, you learn to accept it and realize you yourself are beautiful enough with all that cake and makeup. You'll certainly be probably for the better without it. Your skin will thank you too. Trust me. You might see a blinking light on the side. It looks like a red laser. It's my bug repellent that I plugged into one of my power outlets. It does this blinking thing every so often. It's just to signal that it's like beep. It's putting out some sort of supersonic wave that's keeping the bugs out. I have like or during the summertime, I had an ant infestation. It was not fun. The corpses are still there. I have to find time to clean it all up. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. And I think, you know, celebrities themselves probably are going through a lot. You know, they're always trying to keep up appearance. They're doing all these plastic surgeries to retain youth or to change up their beauty so it meets a certain, you know, corporate standardized type of beauty. Which is, you know, really silly, because we're all talking about, or in Hollywood, they all talk about individuality and all that stuff, and, you know, loving yourself for who you are, but yet they go and get all these procedures done. So it feels very fake, and I think people were waking up to it, regardless of how you appear outside about like how nice you are. I would certainly want you to address yourself fully before you go out and pretend this and pretend that. Certainly, you know, there's a certain level of sympathy for people who are experiencing certain things, but at the end of the day, like, are you doing the work to heal yourself? Are you able to meet yourself in the mirror and say you did all you could, and you're not letting all these things get to you where you're altering yourself, in both physical, mental, and emotionally? You know, if it's for the better, you know, that's fine as far as emotional and mental strength. But don't preach something that you yourself don't believe either. It's very fraudulent. It's a lie. And yeah, I you know, just being upfront and honest about it is the best way forward. And I hope everybody just comes out and be honest. You know, people look up to you. You have some sort of social responsibility to your fans, to the people. If you don't want that responsibility, then step out of the limelight. Don't be a celebrity. Don't be a politician. Don't be an influencer. Don't be any of those. Because as long as you have a following, you have people who look up to you and they follow what you do, you yourself have, I guess, like a power dynamic come into play. Therefore, you do have responsibilities, and you need to be responsible to the people that follow you. Otherwise, like I said, just quit doing what you're doing and live a hermit life like myself. So I hope that gets the point across. Um, yeah, I mean, I've spoken about it before. I think I touched upon it. It kind of alludes to why I'm not necessarily a Lady Gaga fan anymore because, there she goes saying born this way, and then she has a bunch of plastic surgeries to look like the way she does right now. And you take a look at it yourself. How she looks right now looks very different from when she first started. And I don't know, it just feels a little fraudulent or just insincere, preaching that. So yeah. And I can say that for any celebrity, every celebrity. Yeah. Anyways, it was good talking to you after a long time. So hope to maybe record in the new year. I don't know what the frequency of it is, but I think it's good to be out there and do stuff and hopefully be able to reach certain goals or benchmarks in my life. And it's only gonna get busier from here. So take care of yourself. Remember to love yourself. And take time to process your emotions. Don't be lazy with that. It's never a good thing. People need time to do it, need the space to do it, and make sure you do that for yourself. All right. Have a good day.